62 euro cents and 55 pence sterling.
Now for more on finance, Rod North from Bourse Communications joins us now. Rod, I guess everyone looks at Christmas as being a great time for business. What's happening this year?
Well, there's been some interesting figures that came out yesterday because, of course, the consumer sentiment figures followed all the data that came out last week. And the consumer sentiment figures have indicated this time that a third of the people that were surveyed, a third of the people surveyed were saying they were going to spend less this time round, and 50% said they'll spend about the same. And I think the big difference this time round is that the fiscal stimulus of the $8.5 billion isn't in the market there at the moment. So, of course, that's perhaps going to bring consumers back in their spending over the next sort of lead up to Christmas.
Well, everyone spent it, didn't they? The Prime Minister told them to.
And probably interest rates, you know, going up isn't helping either.
Yeah, so another indication that the RBA may have moved too soon, in your view?
Well, I think there's a fair element of that. I mean, there is always a chance that the Reserve Bank could have held off, you know, into the new year, into 2010, which would have meant that the figures that we've seen for consumer confidence, which was down 2.5%, and now consumer sentiment, perhaps would have been positive. I mean, there's no doubt that those figures in the months ahead are probably likely to be negative if rates continue to go up. So that's going to affect, you know, the retailers that, you know, we're really expecting that people would perhaps be spending money at Christmas this time round.
And of course, everyone will be reading through the tea leaves, as it were, when the RBA minutes come out today. What are you expecting that people will be looking for there?
Well, I think the key indication there is going to be the commentary about the fact that the Reserve Bank Board has made it pretty clear that rates need to go up, but it's a question of when, and it's the timing of it that's so critical. So people will really be conscious of that fact, because of course the next opportunity is the 1st of December. And I think the Reserve Bank Board has the opportunity of playing Father Christmas early and leaving them on hold.
And you think it should do?
Well, I think they probably will put them up 25 basis points on that 1st of December. I think that's pretty much what the feeling is, despite the fact that some of the other data, particularly in relation to consumer confidence, is reflecting perhaps that that might not be a good idea.
Now, what's happening in Japan at the moment?
Things are really moving in Japan. I mean, Japan was a basket case about 2 years ago, but we've just seen now the second quarter of consecutive increases. So their GDP has now moved into the positive territory.
And it was one of the countries hardest hit by the financial crisis, wasn't it?
Absolutely, one of the hardest hit, and very important from Australia's perspective, because it's the second biggest trading partner that we have, and very much reliant on our, you know, iron ore and coal and so forth. So, you know, very important to see Japan recovering from our point of view. That'll help Australia.
And what will be happening in Australian markets today? Australian
markets will be up today because Wall Street's had a good run, so I'd expect about 1%. Yeah. So we're getting very close to that 5,000.
which you predicted by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, Joe. It's going to happen.
We'll be cracking the champagne corks on
the cake will be coming in, don't worry.
Rod North, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.